How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Fourever Arsenal podcast. It's not been long, literally day after day. We've done it for the first time, back-to-back podcast, Saturday morning, Sunday evening. Obviously, it's dropping Monday morning. Hit the like button, people. If you're in the UK, it's the morning. But I know we got a fan base all over the gaff. And actually, before I actually get into all of this, right at the beginning, I might as well just ask the audience, would you be interested in a Fourever Arsenal live show? Obviously, this is more for the UK-based audience. Would you be interested in a Fourever Arsenal live show? I'm going to pin a comment. Under that comment, let me know, obviously, if you're up for it. Hopefully, that's something we can sort out come the end of the season.
And even if you're abroad, Kenya, Australia, fly in. It's all good.
Or we fly us there.
Yeah, we'll come to you.
Anyone own a good venue, they want to just sort of, host us, big fans. Why not? I mean, Lee's met so many of you. Everywhere I go. One of you must own something of some kind of nice theatre, in another hot country. So there we go.
Yeah, sounds good. Absolutely. Yeah,
we want to bring it to you guys. It's up to you. We're willing to fly anywhere.
Yeah. Let Robbie know, people, in the comment section below. I'm gonna pin the comment, and then we're gonna pass that on, and we'll get back to you. But yeah, big up the community. It does feel weird doing back-to-back podcasts. Big up James, Lee, and Jordan in the building. But yeah, we moved. We waited to let them wait long enough for the last pod, so we thought a quick turnaround for this one, and we're here to talk. 4-0, light work, easy win. On to the next one, Crystal Palace at the Emirates Wednesday, and then it's the big one, which obviously we'll probably do a podcast Thursday for you regarding the Palace game, maybe a touching in on the PSG game, and then we might do a podcast early the week after for the PSG game, depending on news that picks up and whatnot happens. But yeah, I've probably spoken for a bit too long there, 2.5 minutes in. What are you man saying? All good? Happy? Well?
I can't believe I'm like, we're doing this 2 days in a row. I mean, just sort of bored of you lot, really. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, we literally recorded yesterday. Here we are.
There you get out, James. You don't talk to no one at any time. This is the only time you get to talk to people. This is your only time you get to live. Enjoy it. You should be honoured and privileged to be able to speak to 2-3 accomplished gentlemen.
Lee just said I have no friends.
Basically.
Fair enough.
Well, no, you've got friends, you've got people that I don't know how but do like you. It's nice.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that a lot.
But I will say this: you're good company when you're in the mood.
3 out of 4 podcasts. We're saying on the watch. I've been out 3 times this week. That's what a Real Madrid win does. So up the long weekend. I'm being deadly serious.
Well, this is the first day I've not had a beer since Tuesday.
Yeah. You're right.
Can we just skip the comments and questions and predictions?
Do you know what? I was thinking it was going to be that kind of pod, but we did slap Ipswich. We played really well. There's some stuff to say about it.
Yeah, I think so. I do agree with that 100%. Because it's about players giving Arteta a headache, and I think at least one of them did out there in Trossard getting a couple goals. But overall, it was quite a positive display, marred by probably a dark cloud come the end of it. But Arteta's words is it's not serious, so hopefully, those words ring true in the next couple of days. But we will get into the next couple of days in Crystal Palace. But yeah, on the game, I mean, James is right. Let's talk, because it was a good performance. It's been the first overall good performance we've had in the Premier League for a little while. Probably stretching back to Man City.
Maybe last time we came away from a Premier League game thinking, yeah, job done. Good performance.
There's not been many games this year. I mean, I think I was counting a few weeks ago. I think I struggled to get to 10. There's only been, I counted like 10 games this season where Arsenal, I think, have played well and won. There's been games where we've won, but I don't think we played particularly well. There's games where we've actually played quite well and drawn. But there's been about 10 games this season where I can say conclusively we actually played really, really well and got the 3 points / progress to the next round of whatever cup it was in. So, yeah, I think it was good to kind of get both of those going. They're crap. let's not beat around the bush. They're not very good. And then with 10 men, I mean, it was always going to be a wrap from the get-go. They know they're down. We know we're still riding that riding the crest of a wave, if you like. Got there in the end from midweek. So yeah, wasn't massively surprised. But having said that, there were a few, I think, key performances that we should.
Who's everyone's man of the match? Let me start with that.
That's a great question. I'm going to throw Mikel Merino in there.
Merino was my man of the match.
Okay. Lee, do you want to throw anyone else in?
Yeah, Trossard.
Trossard, okay.
2 goals. I thought Merino was brilliant on the day, though. I have to say that that's his best game for Arsenal. But and the flick, I didn't even see that I've only just seen that on Match of the Day. It's unreal. Unreal. If he meant to do that, give him all the praise he deserves. I thought he played really well. But Trossard, 2 goals, looked dangerous.
Lee, can I ask you? And this, I'm not being provocative here. Genuinely asking, did Trossard play really well today, or just finish 2 good chances?
No, I thought if you look at the first goal, his control for that on the, if he doesn't control that, he don't score that goal. I thought his movement was good. I thought he looked sharp. Looked sharp.
He was a pest. He was a pest in the box.
Yeah, he was. He was. He dropped into positions. He caused problems all game. And listen, it is about goals. At the end of the day, if you don't score the first one, who knows? You don't know that. He took his chance. I think he had 3 chances. Took his second one, by the way. I didn't realise how good a finish that was. And his first one, I thought, oh, that's the keeper's fault. But when you look back on it, it's a good, sharp finish. And he is a finisher. He does finish for us. And, I was interested that Merino played there. I think he did look at maybe playing that role for the semi-final. And Trossard had to produce to make that happen, and I think that he did. I was impressed with Trossard. I've been impressed with Trossard for the last couple of games he started. I think there's been a desire to get into the team. Was it Everton? I thought he played very well at Everton. Played again well yesterday. I thought he was very good. Yeah, he scored a very good goal against Everton as well. So, yeah, I was impressed with him, and ending that little myth a little bit in the last couple of games. Oh, he's only a good coming off the bench, so he has proved he's giving Mikel not a problem, but an option, and I think that's good. And James, I know, has been pushing for him to play there. I will still go with Merino out there. I think, if I'd be really honest, I still would look to maybe get a solution in midfield. I was very, very pleased that he put Miles Lewis-Skelly into midfield at some stage. So I'd be very interested to see what happens on Wednesday. But yeah, listen, Trossard's doing very, very well, but that was definitely Merino's best game for me.
I thought there was some really interesting, like a lot of people compared this 11 and its balance to the 22-23 team. Zinchenko inverting, obviously White back in the team, Merino playing the more Xhaka role, having more of a false 9, in Trossard as opposed to more of a target man in Havertz or Merino supposedly. Saka and Martinelli terrorising their fullbacks. I kind of see it. I kind of see the comparisons. I thought the really positive stuff from a tactical perspective it was Merino playing so well from midfield, because up front he's obviously done well and got goals, but it was really good to see him kind of playing that position and dominating it, really. I thought while Odegaard definitely was better today, Merino was still the standout midfielder, I thought. And Ben White gave a lot to that right-hand side, and we've been praising Timber so much. I think he's brilliant. I think he's, I think, I've asked whether he's one of the best in the world, Tim, but I wouldn't swap him for anyone. But with the caveat of, does he quite offer the same dynamism and options down the right that Timber does? He just, in terms of that crossing ability, that overlapping run, that, I don't know, he makes something tick on that side, Ben White. And I thought he was really good as well. Those are my main.
He looks sharp as well, James. He looks sharp. Yeah. That's the sharpest he's looked.
Arteta, I didn't watch the press conference, but I see, I don't know, a tweet or maybe a thumbnail that said something. Arteta mentioned that, Ben White, Saka, Odegaard, first time they're playing in a while. Has anyone watched it?
No.
Post-match?
No, I never caught it.
Well, what podcast this is, mate? Fucking hell.
We're good, aren't we?
Odegaard played well today, maybe because that trio was back.
I was going to say, yeah, I think Timber does have the edge on White on 2 or 3 things, but I think White links up with Saka better than Timber does. I've not seen Timber and Saka really kind of grow a partnership yet. White and Saka do, and then when you bring in Odegaard, although Odegaard was good today, I mean, I didn't want to be a negative Nelly on the last podcast, but I did disagree with a couple of you that thought that Odegaard was brilliant in the Madrid second leg. I thought his final ball, I counted 5 times.
Who said he was brilliant?
You were praising him quite hard.
No,
I mean,
we were not.
I'll check the tape, but either brilliant or excellent.
This for whisper it loudly.
No. I can promise you those words.
I'll check the tape.
Never, ever,
I will check the tape.
He said,
but I'm pretty sure.
We might have said he played a brilliant pass into Rice for the goal.
Oh no! You know what? You know why I'm fairly confident? It was because when you said it, I remember my face almost winced, but I didn't want to be a negative Nelly on that pod. So I thought, let me just shut my mouth and just kind of. Anyway, my point is,
Turkish, did you say it?
No, it was you that said it.
Definitely not talking about me.
I said Odegaard was brilliant.
But either Lee or Turkish kind of agreed. I think it was Lee agreed with you.
I didn't say that. Don't bring me into your argument, please, children.
This is a straight up lie. I've never heard anything.
I'll check the tape. I'll check the tape.
You
right?
check the tapes.
I'll tell you what. All right, James, do you want to bet? If you use the word such as excellent or brilliant, 10-point deduction from the league. If I'm wrong,
you think I described Odegaard as brilliant or excellent in that game,
or a word of that form? Yes.
Well,
I remember thinking,
James, because I don't remember you saying it.
I remember thinking,
I will take this as the easiest I've ever taken in my life.
This is someone that only watches the highlights, so he might have missed this bit. I'm telling you right now.
Anyway, my point is that similarly, I don't think Trossard was particularly amazing today. I thought he was busy, industrious, 2 really good finishes, but I'm still not convinced. And I think because it's Ipswich, it kind of warps it a little bit because they're crap. So maybe I'm being harsh on him because the opposition weren't very good and they had 10 men. But I thought Marino and even the flirter I thought was very good.
In that now, because someone come up to me today and said, "Look, can you have a word with that Jordan? Has he got 0 football brain?" Is what he actually said. Like calling him
the flirter.
Yeah, they don't like it.
On a side note, can you just let's just divert quickly. Can you just explain what happened to you the other day, Jordan? In because you said something in the WhatsApp group. Yeah.
On your push
can you just?
So, literally after we finished the last podcast, I had to go to work, put the laptop down, turn my stuff off, go outside. There's a Lime bike dock right on the corner where I live. I jumped on a bike to cycle to work. I'm going through the cut here where I live I won't tell you where I live. People will try and move to me. But somewhere in central London. And as I'm coming towards the end of the road, this other Lime bike is coming across. I think he's on his phone, and he's going really, really fast, gone for a red light. He's almost crashed into me. But as he's seen me, he's looked at me and he's like, "Hey, you! Stop calling." He said something like he said, "Stop calling the flirter, man. Fix up, something like that." And I'm like, "Mate, you almost just killed me, and your first thought is that's the prick from Fourever Arsenal who called Martinelli the flirter." Fix up, man. What's going on? You know who you are.
Maybe he tried to kill you.
Maybe. Let us know in the comment section if that was you, because I'll put that.
Yeah, let us know, man. He was going so fast, and he saw me. And he took a double take, like, "Hey, oi, louder flirter, man, louder flirter."
Guest.
Or even to replace me. But I did think he was really good today. I thought he was really productive.
He was good.
I thought he was very, very good.
Who?
So I'll just big up the flirter today.
Who?
The flirter. Listen, he had one good game in the week in Madrid. Yeah, I gave him his props. Yeah, he's got to do a lot more than that to kind of lose that name from me. But he was really, really good. The point I'm making is that I thought the front line were generally all really, really good. I just don't think it's hard for me to judge Trossard's performance because I don't know if the 2 goals are kind of warping his overall performance, which I thought was good, not great, and Ipswich are crap. So it's hard to judge how good his performance was against such opposition. That's
you can only play what's in front of you, Jordan.
No, yeah, fair, yeah.
I mean, well, behind Trossard and Marino, would I be right in saying Odegaard was probably next up, or
Yeah. Then Kivior.
Yeah.
I thought he was very good today.
I thought Kivior before Odegaard for me.
yeah? But why though? Ipswich didn't do nothing in the attacking.
No, he
games.
didn't. But the few things he did have to do,
He was calm. I don't know. To be honest, Odegaard needed that sort of game. I know it's only Ipswich, but he did look like, especially in that first half, for me, a lot of what he's been going for on that pitch must be psychological. There's just a mental block or something, because he still gets into certain positions. It's what he does in those positions with the ball that's been abnormal because of what we've seen from him in the past. I think today it looked like that was, he was a bit free arched. First 10, 15, 20 minutes, very, very sharp. I think first half in general, he was sharp. Second half, obviously faded off. I think Ipswich 10 men, the low block, he does struggle with that even at the best of times. But it was good to see an improved performance, because the eyes for me were on Trossard as someone who stepped in. And if Marino dries up in the Champions League and we need a plan B, it's nice to have that coming off the bench or being able to change it up. But yeah, he's the other I was looking at, Jordan.
Sorry to cut you, man. I've got a theory on Odegaard, right? I remember when he came back after his injury, right? And I remember seeing him. It was a Chelsea game. And I remember seeing his face. His face was really gaunt, right? He'd lost a lot of weight. And I just wonder if the shooting or lack of shooting, or the weak shooting when he does shoot, is he might have lost a little bit of power since he had that injury. I know he was only away for a couple of months, but I do visibly remember, people are watching this, go and look at him in the Chelsea game in a couple of weeks. His face was really gaunt, like he lost so much weight. And I don't know if he's lost a lot of weight and we've lost, because his shots have been uncharacteristically weak. He was a really good finisher, and he was never really like a Didi Hamann type, hammer foot shooter, but he could shoot from range comfortably and score. We've seen it before, but his finishing this season has been really, really weak if he shoots at all. And I just wonder if he's lost a little bit of weight and power, and that's why he's either not shooting as much, or when he does shoot, the shots are really weak and tame. Just a theory.
Do you know what? I watched him today a lot more today. I thought, like, it wasn't a lot really on the game. It was just like to have a look at, and I wanted to really look at Odegaard and what is wrong with him, or what is. I do believe that he has lost a little bit of weight. I don't know why that is. Because Saka's come back looking a little bit stronger, but I just think he's just lost a little bit of pace in his game. Whether it's through the illness or the injury, and maybe it's taking its toll. There's a few times today, he just doesn't get a wave like he used to, a little bit sharper and all that. I just think maybe the injury was probably a lot worse than what it was. I think he'd probably come back probably a month earlier than what he should have done. And they've had to rush him back. And I just think that all those things have mounted up. I do, but we need him to be at his very, very best. The one frustration I've got with him was he had 3 or 4 opportunities to shoot today, and he passes it up, and then when he does shoot, he hits the post. And another one, the goalkeeper saved, which was an easy save. But I'd rather him have those shots. And that one thing is that the team can't counter attack on you if they nick it off of him. And two, you never know what's going to happen. You don't shoot, you don't score. I just think that he's not quite at it like he should be. But there's still glimpses of what a very, very good player is. And I see that today. Some of his touches, some of his movement is really, really good.
I think a lot of people this season have been talking about whether to get over the line, it's about moving on from an Odegaard. And I haven't once really entertained that. Okay, I've never thought that. Whether I've entertained it and had the conversation is another thing. I just think the best version of Arsenal in these coming years will be with Odegaard in it. I just think it will probably involve a bit of an evolution of his position and actually having a few different options in midfield. I think there are games where, we saw Rice in the 6 today, and look, I thought he was fine. When we would talk about our man of the matches, no one threw out Declan Rice, but he kept things ticking. But in front of him, you had a really industrious Marino who played a lovely pass into Saka. Should have had an assist for that. Did get an assist for for Martinelli, almost had a goal. So he was a threat in the final third throughout. And Odegaard was sort of making things happen a little bit more. So with kind of more really advanced eights, that worked nicely. But against Madrid, we needed Rice everywhere, all action midfielder. And we needed Partey to get on the ball and help us control the game. I don't think you need an elite, 6 on the ball to control the game away at Ipswich. So I just think we can have different options next season. And that also means using Odegaard in different ways. 2 10s maybe. Odegaard a little bit more in build-up. Someone else, maybe can he drift to the left, do other things. When you've got someone that talented, I think we should be a bit less predictable with him. And I think in this week alone, we've seen that we can have different types of midfields doing different jobs when needed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. But in general, obviously, overall, the team did all pull their weight. There were just a few that kind of reared their head above. It was nice seeing Lewis Skelly in midfield for about 20 minutes in the game as well when Tierney came on. I don't think he set the world alight, but I think you could see the intention, the pass and move, following up on his pass, getting into the box, in and around the box, a little bit of confidence. It was a decent cameo there for 20 minutes. That was something I suggested, maybe the solution for a potential Partey loss. So we saw a glimpse of that, but another solution was Marino dropping back in there and Rice going into the 6 and Trossard going up top, and we saw a lot of that as well. And he yielded 2 goals, and Marino done his thing again. I actually agree, best performance in the 8, I'd say. I think up front as well, he's had equally good performances in recent weeks, especially those 2 Real ones. But yeah, nice to see overall. Am I missing anything? I think Zinni went under the radar, didn't really,
He done okay.
He done okay. Didn't really throw his name into the hat for anything, I think.
No.
Then White,
it's an option, isn't it? I think he used it for about 10-15 minutes, didn't he? He actually used that option that Zinni went into that wide left position. But I think that Marino done better than him. It's just a decision whether what you do up front. As I say, I'm really interested now to go on to Wednesday to see if he does play it a different way, because it's a good option to use. But maybe that he has his options there. But whatever way you look at it, there's definitely one place up for grabs, and there are a few options that he could go down. I'm still not convinced that would be my midfield, even though I thought Marino played really, really well there. I do like him in that place up top, and I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one for that. Listen, this is what we paid the big bucks for Arteta. He's going to have to make that decision, and it is a massive decision because we've got to go to Paris with some sort of lead. So I think Wednesday's going to be really interesting on team selection, because I don't know about you now. I don't want to see Saka now until the semi-final. I'm sorry. I don't, you know what I mean? Like
on to the dark cloud. Yep.
Yeah, horrendous tackle. That is a tackle that someone's saying that you've got big games coming up. I'm going to do this to you, and do you fancy it or whatever? To his credit, he did fancy it, but that could have been. Tell you what, if you have a look at it, he just raises his foot just as it comes in for contact. I don't know if you've seen it, but if he doesn't and it's planted, I think he's out for a very, very long while. You know what I mean? Horrendous tackle. It
was footballers, I think, can sometimes be overcome with, I'm struggling, we're getting dominated, I'm frustrated, in the heat, loud crowd, whatever, it all gets a bit too much, and I'm just going to leave on the guy who's tearing me a new one and has been for the last half hour. I know everyone kind of laughs at the what's the Roy Keane clip and meme where he says I might just sort of kick someone just to make me feel better, and it was kind of that kind of thing, but it was crossing any line at which that's meant to be acceptable, and also really, really lazy and just overly aggressive, and poor. And actually, I'm happy to see the red come out. I thought there was some debate around the Madrid decisions and whether PGMOL officials would have given different decisions against Real Madrid to what we got. With this one, I think there's no question it's a red card, but I still think another referee might have seen that in real time and just gone, he's caught him late, yellow card or whatever. So I'm really glad the ref gave the red, because I think it should always be a clear red card. There, we said on the watch along text, didn't we? Before we'd even seen the red come out, we went, I think that could be a red. I don't see why. And the ref went with it. So I'm glad he
I
did.
thought he was going to give a yellow, James. I really did. I said that's
right. Yeah,
it was right in front of us where we was. And I said, I went, that's a horrendous tackle. That's a red card. But he just give a yellow. To his credit, he didn't. And it would have been really interesting to see if he had to give a yellow, because you can understand it on field to give a yellow, what VAR would have done.
They probably would have went with the flow.
absolutely nothing.
No, I agree. You know what I mean?
But it did look like he was talking to someone, because he took his time with the decision. Right? It didn't rush
it did look
it did look like he was talking. I
Oh,
don't know if
maybe
that's. Yeah, I don't know. Do they do that without telling you it's a review? Like, does he? I don't know. But regardless, yeah.
There's constant communication they can hear. I don't know whether someone's saying, "Mate, we've just had a quick look at this. I'd pull the red card," because I think what they're trying to do, they're not. VAR always profess that they don't want to referee the game. They want the referee to do it, and if they feel they need to intervene, then they will. So it's all a bit confusing. It's like, but I think there have been incidences where it feels like there's constant communication. Maybe a lino said something. Maybe a lino said, "Look, I think that's a red." That can sometimes happen. A fourth official, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Could have been talking to the lino.
Well, it looks like, I mean, in Arteta's word, it's not too serious. So, what do we do with? I mean, in terms of there's a week break after the Palace game. Do you completely leave him out of that one? In my opinion, yes. Have him fresh.
Yeah.
Ranieri give him a 90 minutes as well, because it doesn't look like he'll be playing a part in the PSG ones. Jordan, you was about to say something.
I wasn't. I was kind of just half thinking about your question. I normally wouldn't. I'd, play your team. He's our best player. I want to beat Palace. But then it comes down to kind of risk. Like what do we want from this next kind of week, right? And what are the gains and losses? So for him to kind of not play in this game, there's another week? We've got a week pretty much off. Before the Paris game. He's had 3 or 4 games now where he's kind of had some minutes in his legs. So I on this occasion, I wouldn't be disappointed if he wasn't in the squad for the Palace game. I think, as I mentioned on the last pod, I don't think they're going to go particularly strong either because of their cup game. So you'd like to think that this is a good chance for Ranieri to play. He's earned the right to start in Premier League games now. So yeah, it's not like we don't have in Ranieri a good enough cover. So I normally would be like, no, play him and then take him off. But on this occasion, I think second is wrapped up now. I think today's win, I think we will secure second.
What did that make it? 7 points.
7 points on Newcastle, who come to the Emirates. 8 points on City, I think.
I think we're good for second now. So yeah, I wouldn't play him, and that's normally what I wouldn't say. But on this occasion, I wouldn't be upset if he wasn't brought.
But Arteta, I think, sent a message with the 11 he put out against Ipswich, which was that he's trialing things. I think it was a very deliberate 11 to test how does White look as an attacking option down the right, as something else. Is Zinchenko ready to give us something? Because at the moment, it's always Lewis Skelly who's been asked to do that role. He tried a midfield, knowing that Jorginho and Partey probably are out. But I've just got this feeling Jorginho will be fine. I don't know why. It's based on nothing. And then obviously Trossard on the false 9 is like our only. He's our, in terms of an actual recognised player who's played in that position. He's the only one left in the squad. Just Marino's been kind of transformed into this. So I think he was just trialing things. And I think you will get a trial-like 11 against Palace. And I think because Saka went off with ice on his ankle, very likely that the Nwaneri-Saka swap makes sense and give Nwaneri some minutes. Other than that, I think the rest of the 11 will look pretty much identical, unless Jorginho's fit and he wants to give Jorginho those minutes to see if you can get him up to speed. But otherwise, I think he'll try get the right minutes and try learn whatever he can ahead of PSG. I don't think it'll just be a throwaway 11 because he wants to rest everyone. I think it will be for him to look at certain things ahead of that game.
Well, James, isn't this the game where you do take out Rice and bring in Partey? Because obviously we know Partey can't play. I mean, like I said, I'm not really one for resting players who had big games, but it just makes this makes sense. Rice played the majority of today. He doesn't have to play. I don't think it's going to be a competitive game on Wednesday, and Partey doesn't play against Paris. So, are you weakening the team massively by bringing in Partey for Rice? Not really. So for me, if I see Rice start more than probably Saka, I will be pissed about that one, because there's no need to play Rice. There's no need to play.
I agree. I don't want to see Rice on Wednesday. I'd rather have chips. You know what I mean? So, sorry, it's a bad one, wasn't it? It was a bad
that one before the show.
Yeah.
Look at him, yeah.
It's a good one, Lee, man. It's a good
Thank you
one.
very much. Yeah.
Sorry, community. Sorry, community. Sorry, listeners and viewers.
No, I do, and I don't listen. I think Saka, he's proved it in the last few games for me, is the difference between us being good and really good, and I just think like 3 points against Crystal Palace.
It's more like shit and great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without him, oh my word, my world was crumbling. Now he's back. We've just slapped Real Madrid like it's nothing.
Yeah, and for me, I don't care about the 3 points against Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? I really don't. And so for me, I don't want to see them two playing, especially when you think about, right, let's just go, let's forget about Saka in a moment. We're without Thomas Partey, whatever happens against Paris. What happens if we play Rice and he gets injured and all that? Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Mikel, please just do not play him. Just have him on the bench. I don't care.
Lee, that would be more unforgivable, because, like I said, at least with Saka, he could justify playing Saka with. He needs the minutes in his legs. You want to get him up to speed ahead of the game. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but it's justifiable. With Declan Rice, there's no justification for playing Declan Rice. There's none. There's none. Never mind the fact that your other guy, like I said, Partey, can't play. So you might as well just give Rice a night off and play your other first team player. There's no, if Rice starts, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed.
Yes, but like, I know we're not going for the treble, but Kevin De Bruyne literally said that they didn't feel tired in their treble run because they were constantly playing game after game after game. Now I get it, they had to, right? Because they were going for each one. But does Declan Rice want to be a week and a half like not playing football between this game we just had at Ipswich and then PSG at home? I don't think he does.
Don't start him.
6 days. 6 days.
No, but it wouldn't be. He wouldn't play this Sunday, and he'd come back the following Tuesday, the week after.
Yeah, still have training and all that, like, you know.
No, I understand, and he's played plenty of football, and he should be fine. I guess what I'm saying is, you know, we're talking about Declan Rice having been immense against Real Madrid in both games, right? He did that off the back of starting and playing big roles against Everton and Brentford. Guys, up to me, I'm with you. I'd rest him, take him out the team, but you know, the correlation is he's been playing all these games and it's led to his best performances in Europe. He doesn't look like he's tiring. He looks like he's building on each one every single time. So I get that. I don't know. It's a difficult.
But then don't start him. If he comes on for the last half an hour, like with Saka, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I guess my point is, don't start him more than don't bring him at all.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's probably what I'd do. Just because we have had bad luck this season with injuries. That's literally. I mean, even with the Saka one, I didn't even ask about everyone's thoughts on Arteta not taking him off straight away. We do take risks with these things far too often, in my opinion. And right now, Champions League is the be all and end all. We've secured what we've needed to secure in terms of Champions League football, and we can't secure what we all hope to secure in terms of Premier League. So. It's just about.
I don't think Saka's one's injury is that bad. If I'll be honest.
No, I don't think so either. But it's just the act of not really, of taking the risk. Like it's happened many a time over the years. But it is what it is. It's not too serious. He looks all right. But with Rice, I'd say 20, 30 minutes. Even if I could rest Saliba for this one, I would give him that. Like, I don't know how you do that, but I would.
In there?
Potentially. I just because that's another guy, Ben White.
I would rest Saliba as well. I'm sorry.
Now that I would do. I'd rest Saliba. He's played every minute. I'd rest
Saliba as well. Ben White coming in there, Timber going at right back.
Actually, but then that contradicts everything I was just saying about Rice, doesn't it? Because Saliba, Kivior, like they've been I don't
brilliant.
know. I think as football fans, we can be very opinionated on the manager should do this, manager should do that, and Lord knows I make videos about it sometimes with no expertise whatsoever. I really have felt going into this game against Ipswich, going to some of the previous Premier League games, and certainly going to this one against Palace. I don't hold really strong emotions and feelings on what he should or shouldn't do with this 11. I'll be okay unless I literally see Saka getting kicked to shreds and he's kept on that pitch. You know, I think I'll sort of understand the pros and cons to whatever he goes with.
If we're going for the title, there's no choice. If we were still in with a title chase, you know what I mean, you go with everything you got because you still got that chance to do it. But we have got no chance of winning the league. You know what I mean? Like Crystal Palace will probably rest players as well. Like, you know what I mean? I just think, you know, maybe it's a game where you ain't going to lose a lot of energy and whatever. Like, I don't know. That's the decisions that they're going to have to make. Like, you know, but you've only got to have one idiot like that fella today, and that could be that. Do that on Declan Rice, and you know what I mean, that would be a massive blow for me. Like, you know, I just think at the end of the day, there's certain players you know that you can play. Listen, if Thomas Partey was available for the game against PSG, I would probably play Declan Rice, but to have both of them out for that game would be a catastrophe. So I'm just saying that you've got the option to make sure one of them is in there. Just do it. Like cotton wool, I'm afraid. Wrap him in cotton wool, Declan Rice. But today he never got tested. I know he never really got a sweat on. That position he played today was brilliant. You know what I mean? So you could play it there and not lose his energy. Like, you know, I don't know.
What of the three, Rice is the one. Yeah. Sorry to repeat myself now, but I just don't think Palace are going to be competitive. I would normally play all three, but I just think because Palace ain't going to be competitive, I don't think it's a game that you need your big guns for. I might rue those comments, but I just don't think it's going to be a particularly difficult game. So why, if you lose Rice and then you've got no Rice and Partey, as Lee, you were saying, you're done. You're done.
Was you surprised Thomas Partey was left out today? I was.
Is it beyond Arteta to punish him for the yellow card and just not play him?
Someone said that today. Maybe, like, you know, he's a little bit of a punishment, or it is that he's looking at that was going to be his midfield, looking at things in Thomas Partey.
And rightly so. Rightly so. If that is the reason, I agree with that. He deserved that. It was the dumbest yellow card under the. If that is the rationale, I'm with it. I'm totally for that. Totally for it.
Or he was just trialing things, but yeah.
But you know, out of the we saw 7. How much? When did Trossard come off? Actually, we saw the Trossard up top, and Marino going back to the 8, and we saw Lewis Skelly in midfield, and we saw Zinni in midfield, all in one game. Like all the suggestions we kind of had in terms of replacing Partey for that first leg, we saw variations of it throughout that game. Which one most interests you? Is it still the one that you wanted before, you know, when we talked before the game? Or is it something else? Like, for example, I said Lewis Skelly. I'd like to see that again. Obviously, I'd like to see Partey 6, so Lewis Skelly goes into the 8. Which one are you lot most interested in seeing in the last game before the big one?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go quickly in first. I think your initial point, I think it was you, Turkish, about seeing Trossard up top, because I do think we need another weapon up top option if Marino's doesn't turn up or doesn't go for him in the week. That's the area that I'm most concerned about. It's if Marino doesn't have the kind of games he's having the last 2 or 3, obviously Saka will be there hopefully and all that, but is our guy through the middle, whoever it's going to be, going to score the goals? And if it's not Marino, to know that Trossard is hot and can come off the bench and do something, that's something that I'm looking for. So I think if Trossard can get a couple more goals against Palace and just go into the Paris game warm or even hot, that would make me feel good. That's the one area, more than any other area, that I would use this game to try and get Trossard really hot.
Not that you can't do both. You could have Lewis Skelly and Trossard, because I think also equally Marino is we're talking about Rice, we're talking about Saka. Marino's importance has risen to probably around theirs in terms of what we've seen and what he's helped do filling in that position in recent weeks. So you know, even does he come off the bench for 20, 30 minutes as well, like Rice, you know? So I don't mind a Trossard up top either, because I like that. But yeah,
I want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly playing midfield. That would be my preference.
Partey, Lewis-Skelly, Odegaard.
Lewis-Skelly, Odegaard. Obviously Rice next week, but obviously I don't want to see Rice in this game. So, but I just think that I think Mourinho was good. Mourinho was good today, but I just feel for that game against PSG, as it was against Real Madrid, that physicality up front, I just think it's just more crucial than the Trossard dropping into the pocket sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I just feel, and also I think, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Like today, it's different because he was playing Ipswich. There was no crosses going in. You know, like they were crosses, but they were all low. I think that the foreign teams have a little bit of a weakness in crosses coming in. You know, I don't know. I just think that it just gives us an extra string to our bow. Listen, I think it's a massive decision he's got to make. Whatever he does, you know, hopefully it's the right one. But I just want to see. I just think with losing Declan Rice from midfield, I just think we lose so much energy up and down, up and down. I just think that the closest person that could probably do it is Miles Lewis-Skelly. That's my opinion. But listen, Mourinho had proved today that he was really good. But then you can turn around and say, "Oh, it's only Ipswich." So, you know, it's only Crystal Palace that he's played in it. I don't know. You know what I mean? You just, this is where training, I suppose, comes into it. Where they go.
This might be a slight stretch, and obviously we're talking a different level of quality, but Crystal Palace might not be the worst rehearsal for a team like Paris Saint-Germain, who, you know, Palace have got some tricky, pacey, you know, wide players and midfielders that, you know, obviously we're talking about two different levels of clubs, but in terms of, I'm just thinking matchups, you know, Palace do have some quick, tricky, pacey, attacking players, and that could be a good dress rehearsal practice ahead of the Paris game.
Yeah, Eddie's probably going to start.
Yeah,
I think.
Yes, he will.
He'll have some sort of, you know, bite in him to try and get a goal at the very least. But I do think they'll rotate and keep, you know, their players fresh for their FA Cup semi-final, because it's a massive one for them. All right. In terms of where we're at with the prediction table, everyone got a point because no one guessed the 4-0 score. Me and James actually he actually did predict 3-0, change it to 1-1. So
Jordan.
Yeah. I rewatched it, so he was close.
Jordan.
That's how it stands.
Wait, so Jordan got a point? He said 1-1.
Oh yeah, he did. Sorry, delete that.
Yeah, and it was 4-0. We said 3-0.
All right, guys. All right, give me a break.
It's a 4-0. You know, I mean, what's going on? Like, James, your man's going against you here. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was 4-0 to score, not 3-0. What he said.
All right. Well, I didn't say it was 5. You listening to the show? You've been looking at the newspaper the whole fucking show, and now you're coming to tell me what. Like, am I lying? He's been like this the whole show.
I'm looking at porn. Does that matter? Is that like, you know what I mean?
Oh my god! Jordan, you've got to
demonetize the thing, man.
You've actually just got to.
What a complete waste of 43 minutes. Your video has been deleted.
We're not getting paid this week. No.
Yeah. Cheers, thanks, Lee. Appreciate it, mate.
Oh my god, it is what it is. I'm going to enjoy. I prefer you say it for another time.
I'm looking at my comments.
Yeah, of course you are.
No, because for a second I believed you. Yeah,
what have I done? That is even I've taken a point. Okay, it's that without a point for Jordan. He's on 48.
Yeah, we get it. Jordan's on 48. We'll have it corrected for the next one. He's miles off still, and that's absolutely fine.
What did you go, James? 2-0.
2-1. I thought it'd be a bit of a sluggish game.
So I was the only one that predicted a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Is that not a point?
No.
What a disgrace.
You are battling out for third place there, you two.
Yeah, that's the most interesting thing about this table right now.
Yeah,
or to stay in the league, James. How we want to look at it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, the cheek of it, the one that's finished last every year.
Wants to introduce relegation now.
The cheek. Let's predict. Let's predict.
What did we
James.
say once? The whoever comes last goes to Invincibles.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Whoever comes last goes on the tactical show, right? You know? I'll tell you, I've been having really terrible night's sleep. I put the tactical show on this. I had 8 hours, like, you know what I mean? Lovely it was.
I'm glad I can help.
Slept through the alarm. It's unbelievable, like, you know what I mean?
The YouTube analytics look brilliant. Everyone's watching the full video. It's great, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. All because of you, Lee.
I said, well, I don't know.
Go on, James.
Tactical show so good. Graham's left.
Palace at home. 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0. Has Graham left tactical?
I don't know. I ain't seen him like that. He walks around the Emirates like a zombie. I said, I didn't see him like that.
James, don't have it.
Slumber. It's tactical. It's tactical.
He's in a slumber.
James, don't have it. Back your boy, James. Back your boy.
Don't worry.
What did you say? 2-0?
Yeah.
Jordan.
Oh God! I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
3-3.
All right. 3-3. No, that's good.
How is that man got?
You're all laughing now, but if it ends up being 3-3,
It could be. You're right. You're
Oh yeah, it could be. If it is, like, you know what I mean, I'll say. If it is, we give him 10 points.
Palace could find
He
their
can have 10
inner
points of mine
PSG.
if it is. I'll tell you, like, you know.
all right. Thank you very much, Lee.
2-0, 3-3. Lee?
4-4.
You lot might as well, because the way the socials react to my predictions is at least you lot will get some of that this week.
3-0. 3-0. I think Palace are not. Palace have got 3 days later they're playing a semi-final. Can't turn up.
I was going to
3-0.
say 3-0, but it's no point now.
Was you going to say 3-0? Yeah.
Yeah.
I go 3-1 then.
Yeah, it's the kind of game we concede a stupid goal.
3-1. Eddie might. Yeah, go on. 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, just to make it interesting.
All right, cool. On that note, all we've got left is comments of the day. Which, to be honest with you, big up the community because it came out very late Saturday morning.
Yeah.
The game was just over 24 hours away, and you still clicked, you still liked, and you still left your comments. So big up, love for the love. Have we all got comments of the day? Jordan's looking
I've got a few because I think
now.
everybody must have the first one that I've got.
No, which one?
I heard Jordan was walking around Rio Betis.
Yeah, I've got that as well, actually. Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
I tell you what, it did make me chuckle, like, you know what I mean? So Real Mallorca would have been a good better one, but like I get it, Real Betis. It was very, very clever. I got Smithy AFC, yeah. I got glasses, yeah. Well done. Great comment.
You got Smithy. Jordan, you found one yet?
Yeah, I got one. Martinelli did more than flirt last night. I was watching the game with my missus, and when that second goal went in, she ran out the door without a word. Before I knew it, she's on a first-class flight to London with a Martinelli kit on.
He did more than flirt. That is a good one. So who said that one?
Oh, hang on.
He wrote it himself in his notes.
Hang on. I should give him credit for it. Hang on. Josh Overty.
Okay.
Overty 1184.
Josh.
Overty.
Look, they didn't have very long for the comments, did they? So to be fair, we maybe didn't have quite the same pool of comments we normally would have. I quite like this one from Jeffrey. Jordan is a disgrace. On TalkSport, he calls Martinelli by his name, but here he's calling him the flirter.
But you know what it is? I saw that on TalkSport. That community is not. They're not like us. Yeah, so they don't get us.
You have to be professional.
Well, that too, but they're not fun like us. So
I
over
love
here-
how they don't quite understand that maybe on a you know a mainstream media outlet, you probably wouldn't call him.
I can't do that.
Therefore, that makes you a disgrace. I did send one. Did you see, Jordan? I had your back. I
Go on.
put it in the group chat when someone commented about they were criticizing your opinions on Thomas
Yes.
Partey. I had to push back. There's no bigger Thomas Partey fan on this
Yeah.
podcast than
I
Jordan.
love him. Where was that? Where was that?
No, I put it in the group. Hold on. let me
Yeah,
find it.
those
I
having
missed
a
that.
go at you, like, you know, but you.
I love Thomas Partey.
I'm going to read you exactly what was said. Right. Somebody please remind Jordan and anyone that might have forgotten that Rodri used to hold bench for Thomas Partey Atleti. He is and has been world class. Injuries don't take away that status unless you're not able to replicate that form after the injury, and Thomas has and more. To which I literally said Jordan is the biggest Partey fan on the show.
I mean, the age gap, I don't know for sure, but the age gap between Partey and Rodri, I'm assuming means that Rodri would have been a youngster
Yeah,
at the time as well. So
yeah,
shut your mouth.
I've got a few comments, but someone actually someone replied to one that I just wanted to address here because you ask us to, not ask us. I mean, I promote every channel here. No one's got a problem with it. So people are watching every channel here. So someone's been watching a channel here and they have a question. Did you put Giroud in the top 5 centre backs of the Emirates era? Because they've been watching Whisper It Loudly and they said that's what you said on Whisper It Loudly.
That I put Giroud in the top 5 centre backs of the Emirates era.
Yeah.
No,
but how can they say that?
Huh?
Are you sure?
Johan Giroud, not Oliver Giroud.
Yeah. Neither of them.
Well, one's not a centre back, so
yeah. Hang on. Somebody said that I said that I would put Giroud, the Swiss defender, in the top 5 centre backs in the Emirates era.
Yep.
They're smoking budge. It's a lie. It's
a
lie.
I see your Erdegaard was excellent comment, and I raise you. Giroud was one of the top 5 centre backs. There we go, John. Now we both had some slander on our name today. We both had opinions.
That's more than slander.
We both had opinions attached to our names that just weren't true. So I want to just say that neither said either, and get on with our lives.
Get on with our lives. Well said,
it's so descriptive, the comment as well. It's at Obi the Chosen One, named Randall. He said, ask Jordan why he has Johan Giroud in his top 5 centre backs of the Emirates era. I've seen him say it on Whisper It Loudly one time. Shocking take. After saying that, he still never picked him for his draft Emirates team.
I mean, I don't think we've ever even mentioned Giroud. I'm trying to think when I might have even mentioned him on my podcast. We've never, ever, ever in what, a year and a half doing the podcast mentioned Johan Giroud on the podcast.
I think someone clip it for me, and I'll put it in here. And next time,
please.
Next time we'll talk.
Wow. I mean, even if I thought that, I wouldn't say it out loud.
I found a video here. It was titled Giroud and Other Generational Talents of the Premier League Era.
My love for Giroud.
So we'll watch that one. That must be it. Give it a watch and whisper it loudly, everyone.
Must be that. And well, that might as well be my comment of the day. I had other comments here.
Very good one. Thank you.
I'm pissed off now. I'm actually pissed off now. That's worse than slander. I mean, I've had some hot takes, but that's. I mean, Giroud's not top 5 for anything.
Listen,
in life,
any publicity is good publicity, Jordan. Like, think of it like, people
they say that, Lee, but
going to the podcast to check it out. So you never know.
Big up subscription.
Big up.
You know what? Let me just get this one in. The Happy Cow said it's nice to see, in particular, Turkish talking highly of the Arsenal. I remember watching him rant outside Munich, rightly so, about the standard of the club. And wow, what a full circle to come back to beating Madrid. Let's go. I'll pause on that full circle because full circle could be Munich. And that would be just.
We've got 2 more games to go yet. 2 big games.
2 more games to go.
Are we all going? If we get there, we'll be doing a special out there.
Your first AFTV fan cam was outside the stadium at the Champions League.
That means I have to retire,
We're winning it all,
If we win it,
we're winning the Champions League.
I have to retire.
I can't believe we're winning the Champions League.
We've got to get out there, haven't we? Like, because they're going to have fan zones out if you ain't got a ticket and all that. It's got to be.
Oh yeah.
Got to be done.
I mean, let me not even mention it, actually.
I can't believe we're winning the Champions League, people.
We ain't there yet. Paris
We ain't
first.
there yet.
Get that done first.
No,
Fingers
that's
crossed.
enough.
Palace first.
If we do, we've all
Perfect.
got to be going
At the
Germany.
moment. That's
We
too
have
perfect.
to. We have to.
Well, unbelievable.
I'm trying to go Paris. Anyway, big up James, big up Lee, big up Jordan. You know the individual channels, people. Love for the love as always. Love for my vlog as well in the comment section. I had a couple comments about the vlog there as well. So appreciate all the love on that one. Hopefully Paris, the next one, being quoted mad prices, 2K a ticket. So I say hopefully Paris will be the next one, but Munich will definitely be one if we are there. But we will be here after Palace, before the PSG game at the Emirates, and after and before every game leading up to the end of the season. Fingers crossed we do it, people. Love for the love. We'll see you again soon. Peace.